What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Twisted Life of TV. I am Poetry. You are here for Travel and Talk Tuesday and Thursday. I think today is Thursday. Today is Thursday. Why are we going so slow? I'm just getting on the road, and why are we doing 19 miles an hour in a 35-mile-per-hour zone? This is how I was finna say. This is how my day is starting off, but this is not how my day is starting off. My day started off with I'm sitting on the toilet, child. I'm sitting on the toilet really doing my morning duties. Yeah, we've already talked about what my morning duties are. We doing my morning duties. And I, people have asked the question. They don't know how people can go to a bathroom and just sit there. I'm one of the people that can go to a bathroom and sit there. I can read a magazine, a book. I'm that type of person. I'm sorry. I ain't sorry. But I am that type of person. Anywho, so I could sit there and I'm sitting there actually at this particular point, just making sure that everything is coming out like it's supposed to come out. That's what it had already broke. We was already done. But then sometimes you have a little dribble, or you may have another little bubble gurt, and then you gotta like, oh wait a minute, I need to sit. Yeah, so I was making sure none of that was gonna happen. So I'm sitting there. I wasn't reading or nothing like that. I'm just sitting there, just taking in my morning breath for the day. All that stuff. And as I'm sitting there, all of a sudden, I feel my whole buttocks shift real fast and real hard to the left. And I sunk down. And when I sunk down, my heart jumped into my soul and started beating super fast. Like, girl, what is you doing? Okay. Apparently, my god doggone toilet seat broke. Not the bowl itself, but just, the why are you over here? Not the toilet, not the bowl, not the commode, but the crown, the seat. It broke underneath my buttocks, and I just knew that my black behind was gonna be in the water. I knew it. I can't swim, so I was already panicking. Like, and then to have your buttocks touch the water for which you just relieved yourself in is such a scary thought in itself. I went into full on panic mode. Luckily, I didn't go into the water. I probably was very close. I probably was very close. And it was only one cheek only because, I'm kind of thickums. It was only one cheek only that dropped into the hole. The fact that I'm thickums probably saved my life. This just an embarrassing morning. That's how the day started. That's how the day started. Not very good for me. Not very good for me. So I say to myself, what is today going to be like? I don't know, child. I finally got somebody to come out that's finna look at the dishwasher. I can't say finally. I finally called someone to come out and look at the dishwasher. My dishwasher been broke since July, the beginning of July, I believe, or the end of June, one of them two. My dishwasher been broke. And I've been looking for a new dishwasher. I've been going around to different appliance stores, looking online, everything. Now the dishwasher itself will only cost me like 400-500. The ones I've been looking at. I don't need nothing with all the extra buttons and get. I need you to wash this shit, dry this shit clean. I shouldn't have to pre-scrape, scrape. I shouldn't have to pre-wash my dishes before putting them into the dishwasher. That don't make sense to me. If I'm a pre-wash the dishes, then they already washed. Why am I pre-washing anything? So I just need it to work. My current dishwasher, sometimes it work on normal, sometimes it don't, sometimes it drains, sometimes it don't. Sometimes the filter get too extra clogged. Like I could have just cleaned it 3 days ago and now it's clogged again. It's a lot of stuff. We got hard water, Orlando, that affects your dishwashers, all kind of stuff. Sometimes it won't cut off. it'll just keep going. Sometimes it do drain, but it drain all over the floor. So I needed a new dishwasher. Now I just got this mug fixed last July. I've only been in the house 2.5 years now. The people bought the doggone dishwasher just 3-4 years, 5 years before I moved in. They don't make them like they used to, because dishwasher used to last forever. We had that freaking Kenmore dishwasher forever in our other house, but now here we go. So we've been hand washing dishes for the past 2-3 months, sanitizing all my products, the old school way, using the restaurant sanitation skills and all that stuff like that. We've been doing that for the past couple months. So now I'm finally fed up. I want to get a dishwasher. The problem is with the dishwasher, even though it's only $4-5, none of these stores that I have been to do their own delivery, do their own installation. Which means I'm paying $400-500 for a new machine. One with all the extra all the extra gadgets. I don't need no Wi-Fi. I do like the self-cleaning option. I just don't put a bowl of vinegar and baking soda in there and turn it on, and it'll do that for me. You know what I'm saying? But I don't need all that. But I mean, some features would be nice, but I don't need it all. I just need it to clean. Okay, so $400-500 is my price range. Maybe $6. That's my price range. I already told y'all I ain't been getting my damn paycheck like I supposed to. So funds is tight. I'm still right now living off the money I borrowed out of my retirement plan. That's what I've been living off of. Why are we going so slow? No, you didn't. You son of a bitch made motherfucker. You going this damn slow that we got stopped at this light. There was no reason for both lanes to be going this slow. What was I talking about? The dishwasher. I don't know what I was talking about with the dishwasher. I told you I'd be forgetting the shit, especially when stuff throw me off. Okay, so the dishwasher, the ones I found. So most of these stores don't do the delivery themselves. Don't do the installation themselves. What they do is hire another company to come out and do the work. Okay, I found a couple that actually does the installation delivery themselves. However, the reviews are so bad on their customer service, on their products. I was like, nope, not going to them. Okay, so I'm at these other stores and they gotta pay. I gotta pay for third-party services and stuff like that. Fine and dandy, but why the doggone services costing just as much as the damn dishwasher? They told me $2 something for the doggone installation service, another $1 something just to have it delivered, plus the tax, and then they gotta pay for the fucking warranty. I have to pay for the extra warranty.
I'm having trouble understanding you.
I ain't asked your ass to turn on any fucking way. Goddamn car is starting to talk. I hate these fucking AI fucking vehicles and shit. So yeah, then you gotta pay for extra for the fucking warranty. So that's another $400 at least before they even add taxes and shit to the damn price of the dishwasher. So by the time I get done, a $400 to $600 dishwasher will cost me another $1,000 to $1,200 that I don't have. I mean, I have it because I took out that fucking loan, but the way my paycheck's been going, I don't have it. Okay, because I don't know where my money come from next. Like after I got done, when this pay period started, I was supposed to get paid this coming up Friday. The amount of money that's in my bank account right now is the loan. Actually, about $150 less than what I took the loan out for. If I had not taken out the loan, I would be in the negative $150. Put it that way. And I finally got the first check that never showed up. Come on, the fuck, the first check that never showed up. I finally got them to resend that. Are y'all serious right now? And that's what the first one is spent. It been on all bills and shit like that. Are y'all fucking serious right now? Why are we coming to a stop? A full-on stop? There's no stop sign. There's no stop light. There's no bus. There's no children crossing. The fuck is y'all problem? All this space and opportunity here. Why? Don't bring your monkey ass over in this lane. Your bitch ass wanna go fast over there. Then I keep hopping in the fucking lane where the road is fucked up. Give me a minute to get off this lane, y'all. Y'all be fucked up. Trying to get to work on time. Left my house 15 minutes earlier than I normally would so I can get to fucking work on time. Because school back in session, so all the school buses and stuff fucking up traffic again. Anywho, child. So yeah, so I don't have those type of monies to buy me another dishwasher. I finally had to come to my senses, like it's not gonna happen. And the reason why I was looking at it getting another dishwasher, even though this one's only 5 fucking years old, 6 years old, is because I was like, the repairs alone is gonna cost the same cost as another fucking dishwasher. I just got this bitch fixed last year. And it just happened to break down right after the warranty that they gave me expired. Remember I told y'all I moved into my house. If you move to your house and you got appliances that's in there, you can contact at least Samsung. You can contact that company and say, hey, I just bought this house. And they will give you a 1-year warranty on the appliances that already are in the home. Samsung will do that. I don't know if other companies do it or not. And they just use the date of purchase that you got the house. So it had just fucking expired. And then the fucking dishwasher go out. But they fixed it last year. And so it sound, based off of what's going on, it sound like it's the same thing. The control board was messed up and the pump went out. Or the motor went out, something like that. And it sound like it's the same thing. So, and I knew from the last time I called what they was going to charge me then. That was last year. I know prices have went up. Because some people just jacking the prices even if they ain't dealing with the tariffs. They jacking the prices anyway. So I figured it was gonna go up. So I was like, it's gonna cost me at least $400 because it was gonna be like $172 for the service call, then another $200 something to fix it, depending on what parts they needed. So I was like, that's the cost of a brand new machine. But you know, I came to that realization. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. It was yesterday. It came to that realization. Get it fixed. Fuck it. Get it fucking fixed. Don't try to buy no new one. Because you ain't got to worry about paying for the delivery. You ain't got to worry about paying for the installation. You ain't got to worry about they're going to even charge you to take out the doggone old dishwasher to the curb. That's going to be another $50 to $75 depending on the company. I ain't got to pay for none of that shit if I just let them fix it. And then hopefully with this service, they warranty it for a limited time as well. So I was going to call Samsung back out because I already knew what their rates was, but then I started looking around. I started Googling and stuff, and I found a company that's going to charge me $69 for the service call. They'll come out, see what the hell is wrong with it. If I do the work with them, then they just apply that $69 to the cost of the service. So they acting like it's service free. It ain't free. They just not going to make you pay it again. That's all it is. So that person is due to come out today between 9 and 12. I don't get off until 9:30. So hopefully they ain't coming to after 9:30. And I could be there. Because like I can explain tooth and nail to my daughter what needs to happen. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. My daughter don't take notes. When I tell her stuff, she thinks she got a good memory. In most cases she do. But not when it's instructions. Oh my goodness. She good with the computers and electronic shit. I'm good with instructions and maps. Oh shoot. So hopefully that's supposed to come out today. Um, my mom ended up getting another cat. She has a little kitten. The doctor cleared her to get another animal. So I got to take her to the vet today. That's later this afternoon. Don't you? What? That's after this noon. Um, Hopefully she can cage this little beast because this little mug is active. Be all over the place. You at the doggone animal shelter and they all quiet and shy tucked in the corner. No, this mug ain't sat down since she brought it home. It's been at least a week now. And the doctor was like, don't let the cat jump up on the thing, because they just had the surgery for the getting the spade or noodle. I forgot which one it is for the females and the boys. And this cat ain't sat down yet. It's been all over the place. So I got to do that this afternoon. But somehow, I think I have a therapy appointment today. I got a new therapist. Well, I talked to y'all last time. I said that I still hadn't got a new therapist yet. That very next day, I got a call to set up an appointment with the new therapist out in the community. So not through the VA directly, but the VA is paying for it. So I'm like online researching like what type of things I should question about the therapist. For me, I hadn't, like I said, my last therapist really cared about that lady deeply as far as because she cared about me. Um, and she wasn't a black woman. And I hear people when they stress the need to have therapists who are like you. I didn't feel uncomfortable with her as my therapist. However, when I think back on it, there was still a lot of things I didn't necessarily talk to her about. Um, and that we was we was finally finna open up the door to that right before she decided to leave. And I had been with her 6 years, and we were just getting to that point. Um, so my thought was maybe I need to get a black therapist. And I need to specify I need a black American therapist because anytime I say something about a black doctor, they'll refer me to somebody that's African and no shade, no tea, no shade, no shade. No, fuck it, it's shade. Most African doctors that I have dealt with don't fucking like black Americans. And it's evident when you're dealing with them. That's why I have to argue with this lady so fucking much in this office about my fucking care. She really could give a fuck less. And she thinks little of me. However, there's nobody else in that fucking office that is any better than her. So anyway, I thought about getting a black therapist. Um, and I didn't necessarily know how to say, okay, I need a black female, a black American female therapist. I clearly tell them I don't want a male doctor at all. Every male doctor that I've had has not been good for me at all. The one that's inside the VA, my own therapist that I had at the VA was like, no, I try to get that man fired because of how he treats his patients and how his patients keep coming. His patient will stop her to talk to her about him. So that was a no. And then the other therapist that's inside the VA was the one that I was very fucking condescending that I got into it with. That could have been a bad situation if I ever saw her face to face. Yeah. So that was a no there too. And my therapist agreed I should not deal with her either. It's not a good match for me. Because she's very general and very condescending when she speaks to people. So that's why she recommended I go outside care. So I go to my therapy session, the very first one. They refer me to somebody, and it turns out to be a woman and a white woman, and I was like, or Latino woman maybe. She has a Latino sounding name, but she looks like a white woman, a Caucasian. Um, she could be just a white Latino. I don't know. Anywho, so I said, you know what? I looked at her credentials. She been in the business 17 years, yada, 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 this. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and give her a chance. I don't want to knock her down. But I did express to her when I got there, I was considering a African American, a black female uh, doctor, but I want to give you a chance because I may connect with you. You know what I'm saying? Um, I was specific. I did not want a Trump supporter. And her first statement was, well, we're not supposed to talk about our political views. So I was finna stop the whole interview then. Because this was a consultation to get to know each other. Um, but then she went ahead to answer. She said, I just let you, she just went on to go say, I do, but I can let you know I do not align with this current administration. Okay, so we got that out the way. Because I have to be able to fucking trust you. And if I don't feel like I could trust you, then I feel like you're a threat, and in the situation could turn hostile within that environment, and I don't want that. So after I asked a few questions of her and her credentials, has she ever worked with vets? She was like, oh yeah, I worked with a few vets. I don't believe her. So I'm already feeling just the way she answered. She was like, yeah, I worked with many vets. But the questions that she will follow up with lets me know she didn't work with a lot of vets, especially not women vets. And then I said, and black female vets. And then she was like, oh, yes, yes. You know, I didn't trust it. I didn't trust her answers. And then I'm sitting here telling myself, girl, you just being untrustworthy of everybody. So give her a chance. I'm steady saying it. I'm talking myself into this session. So she wants to get my background. Start from the beginning. My childhood, my upbringing, out of this. The relationship I have with my mother, out of this, all kind of things. And things that we her interview style and this, that, and the third. So I'm going through before we get to this point, she made we was talking about the allyship and stuff like that. She made a comment that had already set me off as well. Made me tilt my head. It wasn't that I work with a lot of black people, but when I said black female vets, she was like, yeah. And then she went on to tell me how she grew up in the South and that she's 70 years old and that she had a black nanny. And when she moved to Japan with her father, they had a mama-san, which is a black mother, a Japanese mother. Or in this case, her nanny there too. And she felt that was her way of telling me how she's dealt with people of color. Because that's how I took it. For her to mention the black nanny and then the Japanese nanny lets me know that she was in totality telling me she dealt with people of color. That she could have just left it at the black nanny, right? And I was like, is that why she feels she relatable to me? Because okay, so that's how I was feeling. I'm like, well, but I just tilted my head and I continued on. So we started talking more and more, or I was talking more and more about what's going on in my life. And I hate to fucking repeat myself. And I really hate to fucking repeat myself to medical professionals. I've already explained to you this once. Why am I repeating myself? And she kept asking me some questions over again. I was like, I already said that. We already discussed that. I already told you that. And she was like, oh, it's just that you talk so soft. You talk so low, I didn't hear you. Now we're sitting literally 4 feet away from each other. The cubicle is small. My car is probably about the same size. So if I just picture me in the back seat and her in the front, and that's about how far away from each other, but we're facing each other, kinda. And she was trying to take notes, so she was typing in the system and stuff like that. So, and I was like, I'm not talking low. I'm actually talking in a normal tone of voice. And she was like, well, you're really soft natured. I was like, I'm not. I'm talking in my normal tone of voice. And I say I'm really right now because I do this to calm myself down. I do this to calm myself down. And I realized I had been doing that and I had been wringing my fingers. So I'm already trying to, unconsciously bring myself down because I was already still on the head tilt about the black nanny and the Japanese nanny. And then my brain is sitting here thinking, You 70-year-old from the South with a black nanny. My brain just kept saying that. You 70 years old from the South. And then my mind said, you a 70-year-old white woman from the South with a black nanny. You know, I'm trying not to be judgmental, but this is now going through my head as she's telling me that I'm being too soft when I'm speaking. And I said, I'm really practicing my calming my triggers right now. Because I'm slightly triggered and I'm really trying to calm down. So I make sure I talk in a controlled level of voice to keep myself from getting anxious. Okay. And so she's like, oh, okay. Right. So I'm steady going through. She's going through questions, and I think we got her up to my teenage years. I'm trying to just go through it real fast, give her a heads up on. There's nobody in front of you, sir. Nobody in front of you. Rise to the occasion, like your door says. He has rise to the occasion on his door, and do the speed limit. How about rise to that occasion? I left my house 15 fucking minutes early, and I'm 5 minutes before I'm supposed to be at the job, and I'm still actually 5 minutes away. So while we're going through talking about my life, she, I guess, again, tries to find herself relatable to me and makes the comment, well, just to let you know, I've dealt with patients from the projects before. Bitch, what makes you think I'm from the motherfucking projects? I ain't never in my life lived in the projects. I grew up in a 3-story, 19-room fucking house. Okay? With a loving fucking family. We had some issues. We did have some issues within the house, but overall, a loving fucking family. A thriving fucking neighborhood at that particular time. I went to from that house to my aunt's house. She's a fucking nurse. Her husband was a steel something with a steel yard. I don't know what the fuck he did, but they had good fucking jobs. I went to the suburban fucking areas. When the fuck was I ever in the projects? I'm from the city. I'm not from like the rural areas. I'm not from the suburban areas. I'm from the city. Although I have lived in suburban areas some parts of my life, but I ain't never been in the fucking projects. And when she said it, my first thought came out of my mouth. Bitch, when the fuck have I ever lived in the goddamn projects? Who the fuck said that? So my experiences that I'm telling you about my fucking life just makes you automatically assume that I lived in the fucking projects? The fuck? And I said that to her, and she was like, no, that's not what I meant. I didn't mean to assume you were from the projects. What the fuck did you mean then? So I've made it clear to let her know that, you know, this is just a consultation. I'm not even sure if we're a good fit, you know? And I had to sit back and think on that shit. And I realized that because every time I tell somebody what happened in their therapy session, how angry I get and how upset I get, and like right fucking now, she not the doctor for me. And I was talking to my psychiatrist, not my psychiatrist, my pharmacist about it. I don't know how we ended up on that subject, but she said, if you don't report her ass, you should report her. And I was like, you know, I didn't even realize that was an option. I really didn't think about that being an option. All I thought about was, I need to change doctors. That was the one thing I thought about. And she was like, no, you need to report her. So I sent them a message saying I needed somebody to call me. But so it's still early, so somebody may call me soon. But child, let me just say, I gotta change doctors. This is the end of the video, y'all. Let me get to work. I'll talk to y'all another one. Peace.